Good morning, everybody. How are you? I am great. Thank you for asking. Ooh, we're back in with a new video. Today we've got an instructional leg video. Obviously, I think I did a pull one just before I moved. I did a push one just before I moved, so I thought it'd be good to go through a leg one. Now things have slightly changed. Now I know that you guys have seen me talk about working muscles in different ranges and lengthen and shorten ranges, all these fancy terms, which basically mean contracted and not contracted. No need to get funny about it. But things have slightly changed. Like I've kind of moved a few things around during these leg sessions to try something different. I don't think there is a one size fits all. I think whenever you hear me talk about you've got to work the pec in the shorten range, I perhaps maybe shouldn't say you have to work in the shorten range first. You don't have to do that, and it's important that you don't necessarily do that the whole time, because maybe something else works a little bit better, right? And I think being dogmatic in your ideologies with training, nutrition, to be fair, that sentence, being dogmatic with your ideology, it just shouldn't be a sentence. You shouldn't be dogmatic with any ideology, because things change, science changes, experience changes, everyone's different. So it's gonna be a slightly different leg session today. It's in the new gym in Crayford. I haven't done legs there yet. The last time I did legs was with Joe in Orpington. So I'm excited. I'm training with a client today. I'm in with Charlie, so that'd be cool to get him on the camera. But I'm probably gonna keep it a little bit raw with the session, and I'm gonna bring my face, my beautiful face, into the corner and just scroll through it and scrub through it as we go through it. So hope you guys enjoy this one. In a bit, let's go. So the one thing that we've been waiting for in this house is this final room. So everything is done now. We've pretty much sorted everything in terms of downstairs, the living room, our bedrooms, the spare room. We don't need to do too much more. Maybe a little bits here and there in terms of just getting things in, things out. Wow, I need to breathe more. So the final thing to do is this room, which I've just had the remnants of my stuff. So like I've got all my electronics here with my boom, my mic and whatnot. Just the last box is in here of the move. But I've not been able to do anything because I've not had a desk, anything that I can pull up to. So me and Amy have been working off the kitchen table, which is why I don't want to show you around, because my big iMac's on there. Amy's got 2 screens and she's got a keyboard, so she's got to do her thing on there. So now we have the final piece to the puzzle. So now I can begin to set up my office. How long is this going to take? We'll find out. Hair. Turns out I did it wrong. I have don't know what I've done. I'm gonna try to fix it. The last little bit, you can see by my face, I got to the last little bit where I'm literally just putting the table into this. One of these bars is the wrong way around again. 2 of these bars is the wrong way around again, so luckily you can just take out a part and swap it around, but oh yeah, be human, I tell you. Warming up today. We've got Charlie, it's one of my clients. We're gonna get a big leg session in. There's a lot of new equipment in here which I'm really excited to try. First of all, this adductor is heavy. That's a godsend, because no adductor in the world is heavy. We've always got to stick a plate in. We've got some prime movements in there which I can't wait to get into. A big hack squat. This is the first leg session in the new digs, in the new gym. I'm excited to get into it. Enjoy the voiceover. Let's go. Here we go then. First exercise, adductors. Now I tend to, also working out with Charlie here, shout out Charlie, also shout out Gym Pin that's on the screen right now, Josh 10 for discount. So we started off with adductors. Now I like to do my adductors first, just because our ability to get that muscle nice and short, so into a position where it's fully contracted, it actually gets harder and harder as you go through that process. You start to fatigue, and that ability for you to get nice and short gets harder and harder. My volume is also a little bit lower at the moment, so we started off on just a rest pause, which was 12 reps, fail, 8 reps, fail, 5 reps with 20 seconds rest between. So really it's a 1 all-out set, just because I'm trying to focus on bringing my upper body up. I'm a men's physique competitor. I need a foot, like my legs are pretty full and thick anyway, like relative to the rest of my body. So for me to grow my upper body, I wanted to have more of my total weekly volume toward my upper body, if that makes sense, which is what I'm doing. slightly more push sessions because I'm taking the extra volume that would be on legs or elsewhere and putting it elsewhere. It doesn't mean it works. It doesn't always mean it works, but it's working so far. We moved on to a lying hamstring curl now. I think the great thing about this lying hamstring curl is it's the prime leg extension, leg curl, which means that you can load in 3 different points. So you can load the length and the mid and the short range. It's a biomechanic's dream. And we massively wanted to load that mid range where you're nice and strong. It's like a hamstring. A hamstring is like weak, strong, weak. So you want to match that resistance profile as much as you can. So for it to be not too much loaded when you're fully straight, load nicely when you're strong, and then drop off a little bit as you get a little bit weaker again. You can actually see it on Charlie's lifts. Like as he's pulling, he's like hard, gets through that middle hard part, and then he pulls through. I really enjoy doing a lying hamstring curl first because for that very same reason of getting that ability to get that hamstring short diminishes. It's not a hugely demanding exercise. And also for me, it greatly increases my proprioception to my muscles, and it greatly increases I feel the safety of my joint, the integrity of my joint, because I'm warmer, I've got more heat in the joint, I'm getting moving before I load it heavy on a big press, and I think I've benefited from doing my hamstring curls and leg extensions first. As always, taking it to failure.
One more with me now. One more with me. Go all the way down. Alright. Move. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Oh, nice. Hey. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, that's me gone.
Next exercise was the prime leg extension. Now for that very same reason, I want to load this top one, as you can see, that's got the most on there, because we know that we want it to drop off a little bit as we get short. We want to load that big mid-range when we're nice and strong, and we just want to take it through that range of motion. I think one real important thing to take about my form is that I'm not necessarily I'm not throwing my weight, my power into each rep. I'm keeping in control, and I'm accelerating increasingly faster. So if you were to take the ideal rep and you look at the muscle and how it works, you don't just want to explode from start to finish, because you can actually lose a little bit of tension and not tension, but you can lose a little bit of control at the top in just trying to flick your legs up. And in fact, if you look at Charlie, you can see that he's trying to do it a little bit, and it's not as smooth. I did mention that to him. But if you can keep it smooth from start to finish, like control your I'm not trying to tell you to do a 3-second concentric, but I'm just trying to say that you need to be thinking about controlling the concentric rather than just firing it up, because it's very, very easy just to fire up a concentric and then just lose that tension wherever it is, at the top of the movement or the bottom. I like to just have control over both top and bottom. Everything here was just 2 sets. Like I said, I'm on fairly low volume here, so just 2 sets.
Let's go. Push. Everything is this.
So as we move on to the big boy, this is a pre-core hat squat. I'm actually not a fan of this pre-core hat squat, but it was it's really smooth, but I think there's just something that doesn't make it like uber smooth, or like I feel like I can't load it as much. I don't know whether my lower back feels like it's in a weak position, but I felt pretty good. I always tend to use lifters. Now the reason why I use lifters is because if you've got a flat foot and you squat normally and your heels start to lift up, it's because maybe your ankle and calf mobility is a little bit poor. That's fine. I think most people fucking have it anyway. But the little heel raise just allows you to get into a little bit more knee flexion, and it allows me to get into a very, very deep position. So as we can see my squat, or as we go through my squat, you can see that my ass is nearly touching my heels, just because of just that ability to be able to get into heel flexion. But I think from this, if I could have the pad even lower, the foot pad even lower, I'll be able to get even deeper. But it's pretty deep, and I'm absolutely fine with it. One loading set at 6 to 10. I'm trying to fail between 6-7 reps ish, but if we go to 10, we'll go to 10, and then a back off at 10 to 15. So we've already done our adductors, we've already done our extensions and curls. There's no excuses here. We're nice and warm, and now we put that effort in here. Nice big compound movement.
Push. Come on, let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Come on.
Stay with me.
Come on.
Jesus.
Come on.
After the first compound movement of hack squats, we moved on to leg press. Now leg press, we did the same thing as the adductors here. We actually did a rest pause, and now this has been kicking my... I was going to swear. This has been kicking my ass. I was going to say effing. This has been kicking my ass over these last few leg sessions. This 12, 8, 5 reps on a leg press. I'm strong on a leg press. This one was a little bit tough, but there we go, excuse. But I can put like 7, 8 plates on a side and a band and do it for like 12. So it writes me off, because it's like a lung burner, a leg burner, especially after what we've already done. It's brutal, and it really hands your ass to you at the end of the session. And that's pretty much it. I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to get as deep as I physically can on all of these exercises. I'm trying to lower to the deepest stable range that I physically can. I think it's very easy to get thrown away with active range of motion and say, I don't want to go any lower because I'm going to compromise joint integrity. Well, actually, most people can get lower biomechanically, because most people are biomechanically made to just actually have pretty good range of motion across the board. But that doesn't mean taking it to the piss and going to crazy ranges where you are in compromised positions. I don't think that's smart either. So you've got to find that balance between going to that deepest stable range that you can without compromising any joint integrity or health. Because I think a lot of the people that say don't worry about active range of motion, don't worry about this, are the people who have got the most injuries out of everyone. So I think be very, very mindful of who you hear that information of, and just make sure they know what they're talking about when they talk about it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little segment. Enjoy the rest of the video. Back soon. Peace, everybody.
Two more, come on. We got. Come on. Come on.
Fuck off.
Come on. Last set. Come on. Two. Let's go for it. Come on.
Oh, fuck.
What's up, everybody? It's the next morning. Got some familiar faces in the car. In the car.
Got a few.
In the shape of Big Willie in the back. Mitch.
What's going on?
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Boys have come to visit me for the weekend, which is epic. We're going to show them the ropes of London. We're going to show them some proper gyms.
London.
Not that there's not proper gyms where we live. There's some good gyms, but there's some even better gyms here. So let's fucking get into it. Push day, baby.
Let's have it.
Got about halfway through this session, realised I haven't filmed anything, so sorry about that. Here's the rest of the session.
Good. Good. Let's go, Will. Good. Keep it smooth. Smooth.
Do some shots like this.
Go, come on. Good. Release it. Release it.
What?
Yes. Come on. Big D. Drive. Good. Good. Smooth. Smooth.
It's just like belter of a workout done. We ended up starting with crucifix lateral raises. We went onto a high incline dumbbell press. Managed to get the 60s up, a PB for sure. Felt really, really good. Moved on to the flat press. Flat press was pretty good. And then we moved into some pec flies, then lateral raises, and then we just did 3 sets on arms, both biceps and triceps, and we're done. Quite a long workout. There's 4 of us, so it took about 2.5 hours. Generally, it's about 2 hours, hour and a half. Back in football tomorrow. Can you wait? So we all decided we're going to go to Five Guys. Anyone out there who's been to Five Guys before, you know how big the chips are. Big Willie's like, yeah, I'm going to get the large chips. I don't think he's ever had Five Guys, so it's going to be funny to see his reaction on his first bite. Because that's like, because he's like plain chicken, plain rice, gets it done real bodybuilder style. So when you have that like high salt, high sugar, your taste buds just go wild, and that's exactly what's going to happen as soon as Big Willie tries it. So it's going to be funny to see his reaction. So Five Guys, I can't wait. Haven't been there in a long time. Cheat day with the boys. Can't wait. Haven't seen these boys in ages.
Park lap 1.
Oh mate, you small brother. He's small.
He's got your way now.
Oh, I don't know if it was this one, was it? I need to pay for this ticket though. Big old bite for me. Mate, take a big bite. Where are you going to go? Left or right? With that cheesy bit over there.
You ready?
Ah, come on, man.
You ready, man?
Come on, man. It's when like the juice comes out of it as well. You can see how like moist it is. Is that the one, yeah? How was it?
It's good. Really good.
Oh, baby. And there we have it, everybody. And there we have it, guys. The video is done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm uber excited to bring you more content. I've got that bug back. I've got that real. For those of you guys who follow me on Instagram, you guys already know this. I've been having a little bit of a lull. I had quite a bit of anxiety, to be honest, since when I moved here. Now, I talk about this stuff quite in depth on my podcast. If you guys are ever interested in that bullshit, in that shit, if you guys are ever interested in that stuff. Bridging the Gap on Apple Podcasts, any podcast place, Spotify, you'll find it. It has my name on the logo, so you'll be able to see. But we talk about in depth about things like anxiety, that raw shit, the things that maybe that I don't necessarily want to talk about long form on YouTube, because for whatever reason, maybe it's too long content, maybe it's too personal that I need longer to talk about it or whatnot. But I talked a little bit about it. Like, I've got a lot going on in my life. Obviously, for you guys, it seems great. I've moved to a new place. I've got a new house. I've got a new car. But there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that obviously you guys don't get to see. The things like leaving my mum, things like moving in with my girlfriend is obviously a new challenge. Things like coming to a completely new area, leaving my old friends, you know, having a lot of pressure of where to move next, what to do next, where to go next in my business, and how to grow things. And it's a lot of pressure that I feel, and I don't necessarily need to feel it. It's just the way that it comes out. And I have these periods of anxiety that come over me where I just don't know what to do. I don't have any clarity. I don't have any kind of foresight or or know-how as to where I go. And when I've got so much on my plate, so many things to do, you don't know where to start, and that is anxiety. And I've had that for the last like 10 days, 14 days, maybe 2 weeks. But it's kind of started to slowly subside if I started to get my things sorted. So I started to get my life sorted. So I'm happy where I'm at right now. The motivation is back. I'm excited to bring you guys more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you soon, everybody. Peace and love. Bye-bye.